Nowadays, a lot of people want to shoot film. There's something about a photo or a video that is shot with film and have that filmic look. And that's the reason why I like my Fujifilm cameras, because they do have film simulation to make that look somewhat similar, but you can never really get there. That's why there's this company called Dehancer, which tries to make your photos and videos very close to being shot on film. I'm Nicholas Clayton Lee, let's talk about it. So Dehancer produces emulation film plugins for your videos and photos. They have plugins for Lightroom, Photoshop, Capture One, and Affinity Photos for your photo editing program, and DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut, Premiere Pro, and After Effects for your video editing programs. So before I continue, I'd like to thank Dehancer for sending me these plugins. They didn't pay me anything, so whatever I say is gonna be my honest opinion. And also, if you're interested in these plugins afterwards, you can get 10% off using my discount code. And that also shows your support for my channel. Anyway, let's get back into it. So this company started back in 2014, and by that time, the Dehancer team had over 30 years of film experience. Unlike me, I have pretty much close to no experience in film photography or videography. So this is why I'm so interested in working with Dehancer, because I get to learn what different film simulations look like and what looks good and what's closer to my style and what I can play with. So right now I'm gonna go to my computer and show you guys what this can actually do.
So unlike a lot of other YouTube reviewers, I'm going to be talking about the photo side of it first, because I tend to be drawn more towards photography rather than videography. So this might be a bit different than others, but it is what it is. So here's an edited photo of what I would normally do, and to me that's actually pretty alright. It's pretty much my style. I like it pretty ruggedy. But if I want to enhance it even more, all I pretty much have to do now is right click and go to edit and edit in Dehancer Lightroom plugin. I want to say that it's actually very simple to download this. You purchase the program and they will send it to you, and it's very easy. As long as you follow the steps, it's very easy to get this into your computer. So this is my original, and look at all of these film simulations, all of them. Look at that, it's so cool. So one of the good things about this company is that they always update their softwares. So I've had this for almost a month now, and within that month they've already had 2 kind of updates. They also have an app, which I'll go over later, and for some reason they had this thing where it had film damage on the app, and I tried to edit it on my computer software program and it didn't have it. And I was kind of gonna be oh, I'm gonna talk about this, how they don't have it in this and they have it in the app, but then next thing you know they already updated. So I was oh, okay. But this is actually really good. Look at all this stuff. Look at how nice this is. This is so grainy. A lot of people nowadays love that really grainy look. So I'm gonna just go through these quickly just to show you guys the different presets. I actually did a short video on my YouTube and also on my Instagram, and just show you guys different presets. I never said where it's from, but I just want to show you guys just without even editing, from this category. This is all the stuff you can already get, just different presets. This is great. This is Kodak Gold 200, and this is something that a lot of people love. I actually really love this too. Right now it's a little too dark, but I want to just show you guys what other ones they have. So they had all the Fuji ones up there just now, and here's a bunch of Kodak ones and Kaneka. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't even know these things. I've never even heard of Lomochrome. What company is that? I've never even heard of it because I'm not into film. But this lets me learn more about them and at least know how it looks. So right now I'm gonna edit with Kodak Gold 200. There's exposure, compensation, just changing it brighter or not, and then there's to make it more yellow, typical film look. Tints, more purple or more greenish in the fringe. So film developer, you can do so much stuff. So it's just not your typical digital photo. This looks so cool. You can do so much stuff to a photo, and you can't do that with film normally, right? So okay, I'm gonna just go through this quickly. There's like color density. I kind of like the red there. Saturation, you can get less saturation. I like that. Color head. Like, there's so much stuff you can edit on one of these film simulations that it might be a little too much that you can't. It doesn't look like a film anymore. But this is so cool. Honestly, I think this is such a cool thing. I didn't even exactly know what kind of plugin this was until they found me and I actually opened the app on my iPhone. I was like, oh my god, you can do so much stuff on this. This is so cool. One of my favorite things is actually the grain, because I do like adding grain to my photos. I think that's also why when I do street photography and using an APS-C camera and having it a bit grainy, it doesn't affect me because I kind of like that style a bit. So if I just say like I'm adding say that much grain and like that, but if I have none, it looks so clean and I don't really like that. But like, to me, I think street photography should be more rugged, and having a bit of green is beautiful. I think there's also a really good photo to show you guys how this software works. So one thing I've really found really cool is the film damage. So you can add, look at this. Look at this. That's so cool. Film damage. Like different kinds of damage you can do. There's like this film damage makes it look more film-like, right? Like there are certain things when you're developing the film, they tend to have damages, right? It's never perfect, the film, and this is so cool that they have that. So these you can't custom after, but I'd rather personally customize it, and you can choose how much film damage you want. This is so cool, like the scale and everything. I love how you can even add hair on this. Like, what the hell, man? That's so cool. Like, look at this. Look how detailed this hair is. This is so cool. I love this. I love like having damaged photos. I think it fits my street photography style even more. Pretty much, I'll save this and then I'll just go okay, and then it's there. So I went from my edit, which is like this, to this, and I think this looks pretty good. Right, I think that actually looks pretty damn good. I honestly do think so. Maybe a bit too yellow, but yeah, that's fine. I like it. So that's pretty much one of the photos I think I could do to edit some stuff that you could play with. So right now I'm going to be talking about the video portion of this. So if you guys have been following me for quite a while, you guys will know that I've been doing this kind of like skit with my friend called Lone Chronicles, where we're comparing how the real world compared to film world is like. And I think this is actually going to be perfect for trying out the Dehancer. It's one of my shots that I have to edit that we shot, and it's about painting a wall. Okay, and so as you guys can see right there is I already have the Dehancer Pro version 2. So pretty much you just go to your effects part, and just after you download it, just press Dehancer, and then this will pop out, and just drag it over there. And I'm gonna enhance this. So here is this. These are the sources, and then just picking which one I want. So look at all of this film simulation. It's pretty much the same thing as a photo, and yeah, you can just go through each one and find which one you like. I think I'm gonna just stick with Kodak Gold because that's one of the film simulation I know, and I know like people really like that. It's as if I'm shooting a whole movie on film, which is really cool. It's like watching Oppenheimer, that kind of style and that feel of it, and you can probably get something similar with it with this, which is really cool. And the thing is, it doesn't cost as much, right? That's the main thing to me. Like, I don't want to have to always spend so much money on a lot of these things. That's why one of the reasons why I haven't shot on film yet, because it could cost a lot. So on this, the film grain, you can't edit as much as you can on photos, which is understandable. You You can add a lot more grain or a lot less, but I think just adding a bit is pretty good. Let's see, let's get a close up. Look at that. It looks pretty good. I kind of like that. And there's halation again. And then there's halation again that you can play with. So my video pretty much went from this to that. I think it looks pretty good, right? I like the yellow and the old school style. As you guys can see, you can do so much with this. You can edit so detailed in this. I actually don't know a few of them. I actually have to look more into them.
So as I mentioned before, Dehancer has their own app. It does take a while to initially download this app because they do take some time to download the film simulations into the app, but you can also edit videos and photos on this app, which is really good. So for example, I'm going to just look over my friend's photo which I took of him, and these are just all the simulations that you have, and I think it's actually really cool. I love how many simulations they have, and I think this is going to be really convenient if I just want to edit something really quickly on the phone. So for example, if I'm going to use, let's do a black and white one. So from there I just press edit, and then it's pretty much the exact same thing. And I think the app is actually very easy to use. If anything, it's easier than even the software program. And there you go, save together. So that's a really quick editing of that photo. So went from this to this. The first one, initially I already think it's good enough. I actually don't want to edit a bit more, but I just want to show you guys like a black and white edit and a bit of damage here and everything. I think this looks really good. So I think Dehancer is actually really good for beginners who want to take a step into the film world. If you're just talking about both photography and videography, I think this is a great step into it, and you don't really have to have that much skills with professional coloring or anything. It's more like just how you feel, how your look is like. And I think as a photographer, this will show me a lot of things I can actually play with, different styles for certain mood, for certain shots, especially if I do more street photography. This is a perfect program, I think, for me. So it does bring me to a con of this software. One of the things that actually annoyed me the most is that I cannot use Command Z to undo what I just did, which I found a bit annoying, because sometimes you just want to play around with it and be like, okay, I want to go back to the previous one, and I can't find the button to undo. Maybe there is, but I don't know. But it's not your regular Command Z or like Control Z for computer. Another thing I noticed is that when I'm scrolling down the film simulations when I'm in Final Cut Pro, I actually have to scroll down one and then I have to click into it just to see how it looks, instead of just scrolling down, highlighting that bar, and then it just shows me. I think that gets pretty annoying, especially for somebody who is like pretty new to this program and I don't know exactly how that film simulation looks. It'll be great to either have samples like photos do, or I can just press the down button and it just shows exactly how it looks like. You know, when you're choosing fonts, it shows exactly how that font will look right there. I think instead of having to click each one and then wait for a second so that it activates it, they could have improved on that, and I'm sure they will find a way to. And the last thing is, you do need a pretty good computer, especially when you're using the video format of Dehancer, because I really noticed it got a lot slower, especially when I added grain to footage, and even without the grain it was a bit slow. So it does have to do a lot of rendering, and I'm using a Mac Studio, but it's like a M1 Max, not the Ultra, but normally it should still be fine. So I will have to pick which projects I'll have to use this Dehancer program on, because I don't want to have very slow processing, especially rendering. It just kind of annoys me. Rendering, I think, annoys everyone. So I think they have to find a way to boost that so that everything will work out smoother. And this brings me to the price of this plugin. For the video plugin, it's $449 US, which is around $607 Canadian. and that's for a lifetime subscription of the plugin. There are cheaper versions where you could use it for a month or like a year only. And for the photo plugin, it's $199 US, which is around $269 Canadian. And for the app plugin, it's around $100 US, which is around $135 Canadian. So are these really worth it? So if you're like me and you're mainly a photographer, I don't think you'd want to spend the money on the video plugin because it is pretty expensive. $449 US is pretty expensive, especially since DaVinci Resolve, a lifetime subscription, is like around $200 something US. And I think that's a lot more worth it because from what I hear, it can pretty much do exactly what Dehancer can do. You just have to spend more time and learn how to use Resolve more, which I think at the end of the day, it's worth it. Yeah, but as for photography, this actually is a good step for me to get into this software a lot more, because if you want to get into film photography, you actually have to spend a lot of money. You'd want to get a good film camera. You'd want to test out different films, and especially if you're like me doing a lot of street photography, you can get a certain film look nowadays instead of having to actually spend that much money to actually get into film photography. I would personally spend the most money on just getting it on the computer, because for the app, maybe if you just tend to edit your photos on your phone all the time, but I'd rather have a bigger screen and I'd just rather edit on my computer, which is something I love doing anyway. And yeah, I think this is actually a really good program in and of itself. I think if the pricing was a little bit cheaper, especially for the video plugin, I think it would be really worth investing. I think this is great for people who are using Premiere Pro and Final Cut and After Effects. I think if you're interested, there's also a free trial you can test out, and once you get to a certain level that's good enough, Dehancer actually give out prizes and have like a competition, so you can actually test it out and test out what you can do compared to others. I think it's a nice thing to get other people more into this software. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are interested, check out the link down below, and like I said, please use my code. It shows the support from this channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you guys have any like photos or videos you want to show me using this program, please share. I'd love to know. Thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.